I am Rafa Benitez. You are watching the Redmen TV.
What I thought worked differently to the cup final was Origi came in and Sturridge for the Sturridge change. What I saw Firmino doing more of what Sturridge was doing in the cup final, whereas he was a bit deeper and he was the one who was trying to get the play going, and Origi was just running the front, whereas Sturridge was actually playing a bit deeper and Firmino was expected to come in. That's probably helped with him not being caught off offside as much. And
but also, they weren't. The other players weren't caught offside either, so that was an improvement.
Yeah.
But I mean, we said before the game, Origi is like a proper forward, isn't he?
Yeah.
I didn't think so when he first came. I thought he was another one of these sort of winger types, who was being forced to play up front. But now he actually looks like a proper forward. He can lead the line. He can be all along the back four causing trouble. He can try and beat people, hold the ball up. He's good in the air. And I thought last night they gave him a lot of responsibility, and I thought,
and he shouldered it, and he took it on.
Took it on. Yeah.
Oh, it is. It's impressive. There's two parts to that, isn't there? There's one which is, we've all been dying for Daniel Sturridge to come back, and everybody knows it. It's not a secret. We're not giving the Liverpool secrets out by saying he's our number one striker. If he's fit, he's going to play. So to rest Sturridge, to pull Sturridge out and put the pressure back on Origi. He's a young player who's not had a lot of games. I think it's only his his fifth start for us. That could crumble him.
Was it his first start at Anfield?
Possibly.
Like that?
It was. There was a stat if it's not his first, it's his second, or it's first in the Premier League. But also he's getting onto the team ahead of Benteke, and that's pressure because in his head he joke he's going to know he's expected to deliver things. Sturridge isn't injured; he's being managed. So he's always going to come back at some point. So he needs to impress, and I thought he shouldered that responsibility really, really well. He's also, you said it, and I'd not even thought of it when we were walking towards the game. You actually said, he's a striker who's rare for Liverpool because he can head the ball and he's good with his feet and he's fast.
Yeah.
And over the last few years we've
had one or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Benteke's better in the air than he is on the ground. And,
yeah.
Sturridge clearly very good on the ground.
He's more mobile, less so in the air.
And Origi does seem to have everything for that.
Yeah.
The beauty of him, he's only young. And when if Sturridge gets fit and has a promising, really good few years, he's still only got a few years left. He's not a spring chicken anymore. So in like 4 years' time, Origi's going to be 23.
Exactly.
And he's going to be brilliant.
And you hope that they form a partnership and he learns everything from a great player. The other one is I'm excited to see that partnership because it's going back a few weeks, a few months, but the time they started was against Southampton when we actually scored 6. So I think they can play together in a partnership. I think you could pull Firmino, pull Lallana, pull Milner out of that three behind the striker.
What we learned in that Southampton game is he actually knows where the goal is.
Yeah.
He's not one of these guys, and we've got millions of them, who get into the box and fluff it.
Yeah, struggle to shoot.
Even Benteke, one-on-ones, you wouldn't trust him
Nightmare.
now. But Origi, I would every time.
Yeah, and again, it's the progression of a young player. When he first got into the team, you thought, have we bought a dud here? Or why? Like you say, he kind of felt like a Sterling, Ibe type player.
Yeah.
Young,
but they
fast.
played him up on his own up front, and we were all going, well, he's not a forward. He doesn't know how to play as a forward. And he looked terrible.
Yeah.
And it was almost criminal to keep playing.
Yeah, it was.
And yet now, that Southampton game was his coming of age, score a hat-trick. I thought, suddenly we have actually got a decent player. And now he looks even better. He looks stronger and faster and full of confidence.
Yeah, which is great. Which is great for us, and it's good to have that option. Because obviously we're going to talk about Benteke now, but he's obviously not fancied. I think he's not fancied because he can't do it. It's not his fault.
What was significant, and I don't know whether this will come to pass because Benteke might decide I've had enough, but sitting on the bench, I'm a goal scorer, I'm a top-class international player, I don't want to be on the bench. But Klopp made some comment about he needs like a pre-season. It's almost like he needs to relearn his game.
Yeah.
And Klopp would need that particular space to teach him how to do what he wants him to do, because clearly he's not getting the message across.
at the moment, in a very short turnaround.
And last night I thought Benteke was quite impressive when he came on. He did what I was hoping he would have done all season. He terrified the life out of their central defenders.
Yeah,
he was a beast.
He made Company, who's a very, very good defender, and he practically the difference in the cup final. He made him worry. And even if it's like, I think a lot of them were 50-50, a lot of the decisions went our way. I thought the ref was terrible overall, but I think there was a couple of decisions that we got with Benteke versus Company that could have gone the other way. Yeah. But that's what you need.
That's what you want to occupy the central defenders and worry them, and therefore other people can capitalise on it.
Exactly.
That's what you want to see.
Yeah, so I think that's very interesting because I've not thought of it in that way. And can we retrain? Can Klopp? Because ultimately he's a £32 million asset.
Who scores goals?
Who scores goals?
He's better than 1 and 2 for Villa, and Villa are not a very good team.
Yeah. He's still second top scorer for us this season in the league with 6.
So
I hope we don't force him out if Klopp
can make something of him. Yeah. If he can't, then fine, cut your losses and move him on. But what a talent it would be if you could actually turn him into someone who could follow the gegenpressing philosophy.
If you can get him to buy into it, and again that's interesting because I think Daniel Sturridge, he's kind of an enigma in the sense of I don't know whether he'll do the gegenpressing, I don't know whether he'll run it down, but he kind of doesn't need to because he's that good with the ball and he's that quick. He can do that. And Origi and Danny Ings will both definitely buy into the gegenpressing. They've shown that they'll do it. Ings was already doing it when he wasn't even managed by Klopp.
Absolutely.
So it's the Benteke's the conundrum.
It's Benteke and Sturridge really, and Sturridge obviously gets by because he's absolutely world class as a striker. He will score you a goal out of nothing. He scored goals which no one even would think about trying to score. So if you keep him, if you can get him fit for decent periods of time. Benteke, you just don't know, do you?
Yeah.
But how much money would it save you now? I know we spent a lot of money on him, but to not have to go out and buy another forward if you could actually get him to work.
Exactly, and again, I don't believe in upsetting. There's going to be some players come in. There's going to be some players move out. We're going to lose money on Benteke. It's undoubted because we spent so much on him. You're probably having to spend the same amount or more to buy someone in that position, and he's already settled. As in, he's already been there a year. So if Klopp believes he can get him to buy into it and to learn it, so I hope that he actually can re-educate him. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible that even if he gets rid of him, that he'll say, "I've got Sturridge, Origi, Firmino, and Danny Ings. That's really enough. I just need to buy maybe a middling player to sort of complement them, really, rather than go and splash out another 30-odd million on someone else." But I mean that's about Origi really and Danny Ings stepping up to the plate,
definitely.
But again, if you can actually get Benteke to function while you've got him, rather than look for someone else, how much better would that be? Especially having had a year at the club to bed in and settle down.
Yeah, it's funny though, isn't it? Because there was a substitution. Obviously, half time, Sterling went off, and they brought Boney on. And Boney's in a very similar position to Benteke.